Hello and welcome to Maltepe Dental Podcast, world-class dental care to patients from around the globe.
Okay, imagine this for a second. You're planning a trip thousands of miles away, but it's not for a holiday, it's for a dental appointment. What kind of place, what sort of experience would actually make you do that?
It's a fascinating question, isn't it?
It really is. And today we're doing a deep dive into exactly that world, the world of dental tourism. We're focusing specifically on one clinic, Maltepe Dental Clinic in Istanbul, Turkey.
Right, and we've got some interesting sources to work with here.
We do. We've got stuff from their own website, a German article talking about their global position, and even a press release about their expansion plans.
A good mix.
Yeah. So our mission today is basically to unpack how Maltepe Dental Clinic became this, well, global pioneer.
How they got there and why they're so successful.
Exactly. How do they treat so many international patients? What are their unique strategies? You know, the services, the tech, the patient care, and what's their bigger impact?
Looking beyond just the clinic itself.
Right. So let's dig in. First off, the scale is, well, our sources say over 14,000 happy patients' smiles, they call them, from more than 85 countries in 22 years.
Yeah, just pause on that. 85 countries, that's huge diversity.
It's staggering. That's more international reach than some small towns have, people. How does a single clinic in Istanbul get that kind of global footprint?
Well, it's not just the numbers, though they are impressive. It's the diversity you mentioned. And crucially, they've been doing this for 22 years. They're an established award-winning provider there. So this isn't some flash-in-the-pan operation.
Right. 22 years builds a lot of history.
It signals maturity, you know. They've clearly figured out how to tap into this dental tourism trend effectively. And they've built a reputation not just for being good dentists, but for really focusing on the patient. That seems key to their international appeal.
Okay, so longevity, awards, patient focus, it makes sense. But sustaining that for 2 decades with people coming from literally everywhere, it feels like there has to be more to it. What's the enduring secret sauce? Is it just being clinically excellent or something else?
Well, you definitely need the clinical excellence. That's the baseline, right? But the sources point to something more strategic thinking, almost genius, really, and proactive trust building.
Okay. Like what?
Like this. Maltepe was apparently the first Turkish dental clinic to open its own facility, its own office, in London, in the UK.
Huh. Not just an agent, but their own place.
Exactly. Think about that. A physical presence, bricks and mortar, in London. What does that signal?
Wow, okay. That feels significant. What is the thinking there? Why London for an Istanbul clinic?
Well, if you connect the dots, putting a consultation office right in London, it's a total game changer. It directly tackles that sort of east-west healthcare gap perception we sometimes see.
That barrier of trust, maybe, or just the feeling of distance.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It's a psychological bridge as much as a logistical one. People worry about standards, communication, what happens if something goes wrong. Having a physical base in London, even just for consults and follow-ups, offers huge reassurance. It makes the whole idea of flying to Istanbul for dental work feel much less daunting, much more accessible.
That makes a lot of sense. It lowers the perceived risk immediately. But they don't stop there, do they? The sources also talk about this radical transparency, like over 300 video testimonials and more than 1,100 Instagram posts over 12 years.
Yeah.
Is that just showing off? Or is it a really smart way to build trust when your patients are thousands of miles away?
I don't think it's showing off. I think it's actually a very sophisticated, very modern strategy.
Yeah.
In today's world, people want authenticity, right? Seeing hundreds of real patients, telling their stories on video, not just text reviews, that's powerful.
Look, see their faces, hear their voices.
Exactly. It helps potential patients visualize their own trip, their own results. It builds confidence in a way that slick advertising just can't. They're basically letting their happy customers do the marketing for them. It feels very secure.
Okay, so they build trust through physical presence and digital openness. Smart. But what about the actual dentistry? What do they offer that makes people travel?
Right. Let's get under the hood, as they say. The list of services is pretty comprehensive. We're talking veneers, zirconium crowns, full porcelain crowns, implants, cosmetic dentistry, whitening, root canals, dentures, the whole gamut, really.
It's a wide range.
Yeah. But what seems to really set them apart, based on the sources, is their tech and infrastructure, specifically having their own in-house dental laboratory and using advanced CAD/CAM technology. That's computer-aided design and manufacturing.
Wait, their own lab? in the clinic. You know, I always just assumed clinics sent that work out somewhere else. That seems pretty unusual, doesn't it?
Oh, it's highly unusual, and that's a massive advantage.
Why don't more clinics do it then? What's the challenge?
Cost, mostly. Big upfront investment in equipment, skilled technicians, space, and complexity, managing it all. But for Maltepe, it seems central to their whole model. Having it in-house means total control, start to finish.
Control over what, specifically?
Everything. From using things like digital smile design, that software, to plan the look right through to making the actual crown or veneer with that CAD/CAM tech. No miscommunications with an outside lab, no shipping delays, which is critical for international patients on a schedule. They can ensure the quality, the materials which they state are internationally certified, the exact shade, the perfect fit. It means faster treatment, more precision, and ultimately really customized aesthetic results. It's all about owning the entire smile creation process.
Wow, okay. That level of integration is impressive. It really does sound like they've thought about the whole international patient journey. The sources mention a detailed your treatment plan and a whole dental tourism process covering travel details, too.
Absolutely. It's not just about the dental chair. They have a dedicated international patients team. That's crucial. They map out the treatment and the travel. They offer VIP services, multilingual support. Language is clearly not a barrier they allow.
So it's like a whole support system.
Exactly. They call it an ecosystem of care. Patients feel looked after from that very first inquiry. They even offer a free video consultation to start right through to when they're back home. It's holistic. And it's driven by their lead dentists, Dr. Alper Gurhan and Dr. Yusuf Ilhan.
Okay, all these strategies, the tech, the support, it sounds great on paper, but does it actually work? What about patient satisfaction, especially with people coming from, 85 plus countries?
Yes. The proof is in the pudding, right? Or in the reviews in this case. And this is where it gets really compelling. Their satisfaction scores are, frankly, through the roof.
Like what?
A 4.8-star rating on Google, and that's from over 250 reviews, with some going way back to the 2010s, so it's consistent. And on Trustpilot, even higher, 4.9, based on, again, authentic patient experiences.
4.8 and 4.9. That's remarkable for any business, never mind a medical clinic dealing with global patients.
It really is. And it suggests they have a very strong feedback loop. They must be listening and adapting constantly to maintain that level of satisfaction over time.
But how do they manage the cultural side? 85 countries means 85 different sets of expectations, communication styles. How do you get consistently high ratings across that huge cultural spectrum?
So that's another area where they seem really intentional. It's not just luck. They've apparently developed a whole cultural training program for their staff, not just basic be nice stuff, but detailed protocols.
Protocols for what?
For understanding and addressing specific concerns from different cultural backgrounds. The sources give examples like maybe a British patient values directness and efficiency above all else, whereas perhaps a patient from the Middle East might prefer a longer consultation, maybe involving family members. Understanding those nuances makes a massive difference.
So patients feel genuinely understood, not just processed.
Exactly. It builds comfort, builds trust, and leads to that higher satisfaction.
Oh.
And they've even thought about after the treatment.
How so?
They've set up partnerships with dentists in other countries. So if a patient goes home and has an unexpected issue, maybe needs emergency follow-up, there's potentially a local contact who can help.
Wow. That offers incredible peace of mind. That's long-term thinking.
It really is. It closes the loop.
Okay, so we've seen the scale, the trust building, the tech, the patient care, the cultural sensitivity. What about the bigger picture? Is Maltepe just about fixing teeth, or is there more?
Well, that leads to another interesting aspect. Their role, beyond just being a clinic, they seem quite involved in community outreach. Things like organizing free dental checkups at local schools in Istanbul.
Okay, giving back locally.
Yes, but it goes further. They've apparently established a scholarship program for dental students, aspiring dentists.
Ah, so investing in the future of the profession itself.
Right. It suggests their values go beyond just running a successful business. It points to a commitment to public health, to education, to developing the field.
And they're not standing still either, are they? Looking ahead.
Doesn't seem like it. The sources mention plans for more advanced telemedicine. Makes sense, given their international base.
Yeah, remote consultations, follow-ups.
Exactly. And also exploring partnerships with international insurance providers. That could make their services even more accessible.
So they're constantly evolving the model.
It really looks that way.
Yeah.
It feels like they're creating a kind of blueprint almost for what global healthcare delivery could be. And interestingly, they seem willing to share best practices with other clinics too. That's not typical in a competitive field.
No, usually you guard your secrets.
Right. But this suggests they're trying to elevate the whole field of dental tourism, not just hoard their own success. They're setting benchmarks, changing how we think about accessing care across borders. It's health, aesthetics, education, community, all wrapped up together.
So let's recap quickly. We've seen how Maltepe Dental Clinic use strategic vision, like that London office, combined with advanced tech like their in-house lab.
Plus that deep cultural understanding and a real commitment to transparency and patient support.
Right. And all that together hasn't just built a hugely successful global clinic, but it's actually pushing the boundaries and shaping the future of dental tourism itself.
A pretty remarkable story when you piece it all together.
It really is. And it leaves you with a thought, doesn't it? Consider this. Could this model, high-quality specialized care, global reach, cultural fluency, radical transparency, could that be applied to other areas of medicine? Could this be a template not just for dentistry, but for how we access all sorts of specialized healthcare in the future, fundamentally changing where and how we get treatment worldwide? Something to think about.